We are back from Worlds, and I've been back for a few days, but as you can maybe hear, I've been sick, and I just haven't wanted to do anything. But we're going to talk about it. My goal going into this competition was to try not to zero any events, and try to place top 8. And I'm proud to say, we ended up in 5th place. But we're going to talk about day 1, starting with the axle deadlift for reps. Now, I felt pretty confident going into this event. Confident in the sense of I was going to get a couple reps at least. Our last heavy session, we got 475 for 4 reps with room in the tank. And the competition weight was only 10 more pounds. And the week of the competition, I had some downtime, and I just felt like, a good confidence booster would be to get my hands on an axle bar to do some reps in, just to make sure I have done something between my last session of prep and the competition. It would have been like a whole week, and I just wanted something in between. So knowing that, warm-ups felt pretty good, and we were in the last heat. It was me and 3 other guys. First 2 heats went, some people zeroed, some people got a couple reps. I think maybe 1 or 2 people got 3 or 4 reps or 5 reps. And so I figured okay, I can get a couple reps and that'll put me somewhere in the middle of the pack. Fantastic. I won't zero it. We lined up, the whistle went, and I tried to center myself as best as I can on the axle, strap up, got my first rep. Felt really good. I think it was just a combination of just being in front of the crowd and, I don't know, it felt so smooth. Set myself up again, kind of centered myself better, got my second rep in, took a little breather, got my third, a little breather, got my fourth, and then I figured okay, I need to take a little break, recompose myself, and then let's get that 5th rep. And after that 5th rep, I was okay, I can definitely do a 6th rep. My back's a little tired, but let me just relax for a second. I had 10 seconds to relax, and then they announced 10 seconds remaining. Reset myself up, got that 6th rep in. This was huge. I was so pumped for this. I've never gotten anything over 3 reps at that weight. So that was a huge PR for me. Or I guess I should say 4 now. Huge PR. And surprisingly, it was the second most reps, which is so cool. I was not expecting to do that well. So I had that high going into the second event, which was the yoke into power stairs. Now this whole prep, I knew that yoke was going to be pretty smooth. Power stairs was kind of a question, but I wanted so bad to be able to get the power stairs and finish on top of that stairwell. Looking at the crowd, that's such a cool feat. But the warm-ups said otherwise. Warm-ups for yoke, super easy. Warm-up for power stairs, felt awful. It just felt heavy. Didn't feel like I was getting very high. So I didn't really know what to do with it. But I got to watch the first 2 heats go, and of those first 2 heats, I think 2 people got to the power stairs. And so in my head, I was okay, I can probably be the fastest one on the yoke. That'll be my goal, to be as fast as I can, which will mean plenty of time for the power stairs. We'll give it a shot and kind of see, but I think just being the fastest on the yoke will be good points. And that's kind of how it panned out. Took it down on the yoke. I was probably the fastest to transition and take it back. And I said, let's give it a couple goes. First attempt on the power stairs just didn't feel very committed. So I gave myself a little breather, kind of tried to hype myself up a little bit, and went for the second. And as soon as I did that, it just didn't feel good on my knees. I figured if I pushed any harder, I'd probably hurt myself and it wouldn't be worth it. I was kind of looking side to side to see who was onto the power stairs, and it looked like 2 people had done it, and the other person was struggling. So I was you know what? This looks like it could be a top 5 in the event. I didn't get the power stairs, but I think I can be the fastest at the yoke. So we called it there. And as it turns out, that's kind of how it played out. 4 people got to the power stairs, and I was that 5th place with the fastest yoke, which is awesome as well because I've never thought of myself as a fast athlete either. So huge props there. Then we moved on to our Hercules hold, which for me was kind of just like an unknown. Training for this has been kind of like, I haven't felt confident with the training for it. And so my goal was like, let's see if we can get more than 20 seconds. I wasn't really hitting any high times during training, and so 20 seconds was kind of like average for all of the variations I had. So I figured if I could do more than that, that's a PR. First heat went, and it almost felt like they set up and were done immediately. And so I was kind of nervous. I was like, man, that felt really fast. Let's see what happens. But we lined up. I was in the second heat and set ourselves up and went. And they announced 10 seconds. And as soon as they did, I was just like, all this doubt was filling in my head. I was like, I don't think I got the grip. I don't think I got this. 20 seconds went by, and then 30 seconds went by, and then it started to kind of shift where I was like, no, I think I'm settled in. Nothing's really burning. I feel pretty good. I feel like I could hold on to this for a while. And then I started hearing people dropping their handles. And that was kind of like a confidence booster as well. Like, I wasn't the first one to drop it, even though I kind of expected myself to be. I ended up being the last person to hold it. And if it wasn't for some weird pop in my hand that was so painful, I think I could have held it longer. But, something happened. I let go. Didn't look like there was an actual visual issue. And it was kind of just immediate. It wasn't lingering. The judge next to me said, you got 40.5 seconds, double what I expected. Like, I was so pumped. And he said, that's a really good time. That puts you in first. So I was kind of ecstatic. Like, I know there's another heat after me, but I'll take it. Like, that's so cool. Especially for this being an event that I just didn't feel confident in. And then the last heat went, and they all beat me. But top 5, can't complain. Which led us to our final event, our sandstone sprint carry load. Now the warm-ups for this is basically just pick it up and feel it out. And that's exactly what I did. I picked up the 220 bag, and it just didn't feel good. Like, all the sandbag work I had done, it didn't feel the same. And so I was kind of just like in my head. I was like, man, I should probably just take my time, be really deliberate with my reps, and, if we can get like a couple, that's great. Watching other people do it, I saw that they were getting kind of stuck on the cross beam. They were trying to kind of run into it and load it over, but they got stuck. And I've been there before, and I know how exhausting that can be. So I just figured, we're going to jog to the bag. We'll pick it up, make sure it's in a position where we're not going to drop it. We're going to run to the yoke, readjust, and then load it, and go from there. And so we were in the second heat, and that's exactly what I did. First rep felt really smooth. Second rep felt really smooth. Then bam. Third rep, I just felt so exhausted. When we got that third rep, set ourselves up for the fourth rep, and I got stuck on that cross beam. I tried to push it over, but I just didn't push it enough, and it fell back down towards me. And as soon as it dropped, I was just like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm so tired. I hate this event. They announced 10 seconds, and I was just like, all right, flip the switch. Let's just get this last one and call it there. So we did. So we ended with four successful loads. I wish I had gotten that fifth. It probably wouldn't have changed too much of any of the scoring, but I was a little bummed that my conditioning was that bad. But that concluded day one. I wasn't trying to keep score of anything. This is all kind of after the fact, but I ended the day in 4th place, which was like, what? Like, I was not expecting that. But I was so sore, like I was not feeling confident about what day 2 would bring. But stay tuned, we'll talk about that shortly.